Why does it now feel harder to buy a home in America than at any point in modern history? Home ownership was once the cornerstone of the American dream, a symbol of stability, success, and belonging. But today, for millions of Americans, that dream is slipping further away. In some cities, you need to earn more than 6 figures just to qualify for a modest mortgage. The gap between what homes cost and what people earn has never been this wide. A generation ago, buying a house was challenging, but still within reach. In the early 1980s, a median home cost around 3 times the average household income. Today, that same ratio has doubled. The median U.S. home price hovers around $420,000, while median household income is just under $75,000. The math simply doesn't add up. Wages have grown about 50% since 2000, but home prices have surged more than 150%. It's not just about inflation. There are deep structural forces at play. First, America faces a massive housing shortage. After the 2008 financial crisis, home building collapsed. Builders scaled back dramatically, and new construction never fully recovered. At the same time, demand didn't disappear. The population grew, Millennials entered the housing market, and household sizes shrank. Today, Freddie Mac estimates the U.S. is short nearly 3.8 million homes. Fewer houses mean more competition, which drives prices higher, especially in fast-growing states like Texas, Florida, and Arizona. Second, investors have changed the housing game. A growing share of single-family homes are now being snapped up not by families, but by Wall Street-backed firms and private equity groups. In some cities, as many as 1 in 5 homes are purchased by institutional investors. In Atlanta, investor purchases at one point made up nearly 30% of the market. These homes often get turned into rentals, pushing families into long-term renting and out of ownership. It transforms housing from a basic need into a financial asset class where profits come before people. Third, the cost of actually building homes has soared. During the pandemic, lumber prices tripled at one point, adding tens of thousands of dollars to the cost of a new build. Steel, cement, copper, and labor all became more expensive as supply chains broke down. Even today, building materials remain around 30 to 40% more expensive than before 2020. Land prices have also risen, especially in urban areas. When it costs more to build, the end buyer always pays the difference. Next, the cost of borrowing. During the pandemic, mortgage rates fell below 3%, making money unbelievably cheap. Buyers rushed in and competition spiked. But since 2022, the Federal Reserve has hiked interest rates to fight inflation. Mortgage rates have more than doubled, now hovering above 7%, the highest in 2 decades. That means even if home prices froze, monthly payments skyrocketed. For many first-time buyers, affordability simply collapsed. Finally, local zoning laws and regulations act as invisible barriers. In many U.S. cities, up to 75% of residential land is zoned exclusively for single-family homes. That means developers can't easily build duplexes, triplexes, or affordable apartment complexes in desirable neighborhoods. These restrictions choke supply, fuel urban sprawl, and keep homeownership out of reach for working families. Even modest attempts to loosen zoning laws often run into fierce opposition from existing homeowners who fear property values might fall. All of this trickles down to ordinary Americans. Renters now spend about 30% of their income on housing, but in many cities it's far higher. In Los Angeles or Miami, rent often eats up nearly half a paycheck. That leaves little room for savings, retirement contributions, or emergencies. Homeowners, on the other hand, build wealth through equity. The result is a widening wealth gap between those who own property and those who don't. The median homeowner today has a net worth of nearly $396,000, while the median renter has just $10,400. That's almost a 40-to-1 gap. Without access to home ownership, millions are missing out on decades of equity growth. For younger generations, especially Millennials and Gen Z, the prospect of buying a first home feels more like a fantasy than a milestone. The consequences stretch beyond individual families. When people can't afford homes, they delay marriage, children, and career decisions. Communities become less stable, local economies grow slower, and frustration with the system deepens. Housing isn't just about shelter, it's about opportunity, wealth building, and social stability. America has long called itself the land of opportunity. But if millions of people can no longer afford a place to live, what happens to that promise? Will housing remain a reliable path to the middle class, or will it harden into a luxury investment only available to the few? The answer to that question will shape not just the housing market, but the future of the American dream itself.